Howdy, howdy, everybody. Oof, it's been a long time since I've streamed. But I can explain, I swear. I swear. How's it going? I was gonna be streaming last week. I really didn't have anything getting in my way. But I did go on an absolute bender with Nier Replicant. Something about, I don't know, it's been so long since I played the original Nier or Nier Gestalt that whenever I got my hands on Nier Replicant, I couldn't stop myself. I played it, God, for 12 hours a day, taking barely any breaks. And I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't bring myself to stream. Couldn't make time for it. I barely made time for anything, honestly. If it wasn't for my actual jobs, I probably wouldn't have gotten out of my chairs to go do anything other than play Nier Replicant. It is such a good game. Just Nier and the Drakengard series in general are just good. But I haven't gotten any work done in a very long time, and it's time for me to get back to work and do some modeling stuff, specifically for, commission work. And what a commission to come back to, honestly. This is the perfect commission for me, right up my alley. Exactly what I needed. We are going to be working on a model for YouTuber Jarek. He has a YouTube channel that talks about FPS games pretty much exclusively, and he is looking to finally get himself a dedicated VTuber model for streaming and for VRChat. And he is a blood dragon. And it's just like the blood dragons from Far Cry Blood Dragon. He's gonna have two forms. He's gonna have his basic red form here, and then his other more synthwave looking form that we're gonna be painting on later. First off, we need to get him modeled. Now this is gonna be a really fun model for me, right up my alley, because not only is it a dragon, but it's also got incredibly large wings, which is one of the things I like to put on all dragons that I make. Massive wings, and a massive tail. I mean, if you're gonna do a dragon, or whether it be anthro or correct, as I like to say, you gotta have gigantic wings and a gigantic tail. There's no other way around it. A mistake that Baldur's Gate 3 unfortunately fell into was giving their models very tiny tails. Basically, they might as well just be loose belts. And I think that is sad, if not just straight up embarrassing. But whatever, I guess. They didn't hire me to make their models, and that's their fault. Anyways, so today we are going to be modeling the base mesh for Jarek here. Now, by his own description, his model does not have scales. So we're not going to have to do any sort of detailed sculpting to get these scales in here, like we had to do for the Lore's Dragonborn model, which you could buy on Gumroad, by the way. Ow. So we're going to need, but we will be doing a little bit of sculpting for the muscles. He doesn't want to be just completely ripped like a fucking DBZ model, but he does want to have some definition in his abs. The way that he described it to me was like a professional NBA player kind of ripped, rather than like Baki character. We will be having to model the wings from scratch for a number of reasons. For one, I've learned a little bit about topology since I've started modeling wings, and the wings that I use for myself and for a lot of other commissions I've done in the past are just a little bit out of date, and I think that I can do a much better job at making them deform with this new, now that we're given another chance with this new model. Let's see. And the way that his wings insert, it looks like they take up a good portion. They almost basically have their own lats. Some wings just are straight up shoulders coming out of the back, just kind of out of nowhere. This one is not the case. he does have his own lats specifically for his wings, which I think is really cool. I think that's actually a really good thing to add to your models if you're going to be making an Anthro Dragon, another set of lats. So we're going to be adding that. We're going to have to model that in rather than just leave it as a separate piece. So we will have to open up a section back here for another set of lats. What else? That is pretty much, oh yeah, he's got 4 toes instead of like your typical 3 toes and a dew claw. He's got 4 toes and a dew claw. So we're gonna have to take our base mesh here and divide and separate this middle foot, this middle toe, and multiply it basically. When multi-armed it don't have multiple pecs. Yeah, that is pretty weird. Kind of like, I think Machamp is like that, where he's got just arms right here, or I think the Machamp's arms come out of his back. But also, I don't blame them because that just looks weird. Like, I don't blame artists for not wanting to do that because it just looks fucked up. It just looks weird to see, because at least this kind of looks natural, you know? But to have like 4 titties is just, it's, I don't know, gross. You got Jarek? Yes, I did. What's funny is I didn't even, I never heard of him until he came to me looking for a model. But he's got a pretty big old channel. Big old channel. Big old YouTube channel. Gotta give props where props are due. Not easy to make it in today's gaming YouTuber market. But I like having titties. Well, you don't want to have 4 titties, right? Having 2 titties is like a big enough curse. My wife tells me all about it. She got big old titties, and she's like, "I hate having these titties." I'm like, "I know. I'm sorry." So she would literally just fucking give herself a double mastectomy if she had 4 titties. That's too many titties. I only got 2 hands. 1 titty. Yes, a single gigantic titty right in the center. That's all you need right there. Anything more than this is extra. It's just too much. Too much. Let's normalize our single titty bitches, okay? Let's hear it for our single titty bitches. We hear you, we see you. All right, I think the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and sculpt his head. So the way that he described his head to me was basically a T-Rex dragon-esque kind of head. So a lot more Rex than, say, like Serpentine, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and sculpt this out, and then we will use it as a base to retopologize over the top. 10-foot tall dragon. This is an Anthro dragon, dude. He can't be super big. Or he can be, I guess, but all the Anthro dragon, this is pretty tall for an Anthro boy. All right, I don't know why I hid that. Most of the Anthro boys I get are like 6 feet tall, because they want to use it as like a VRChat avatar, and they don't want to be too much taller than they are in real life. Let's see, round cube. I usually like to work with a round cube. It doesn't really matter because I'm not going to use this mesh for anything other than sculpting the head shape, but you know. There we go. So does anyone else like celebrate Halloween on the weekend before? If Halloween doesn't fall on a weekend? That's what we do in my hometown. And honestly, I think that's like the way to do it. The best way to go. I celebrate all month, but I don't go that far. I'm an edgy Halloween boy, like the best of us, but you know, I got stuff to do. But yeah, we give out candy in my hometown on the day before or the weekend before Halloween. And I think that really works best for everybody. Because, you know, people got to work. People got shit to do on the weekdays. I had the normals all fucked up here. Whatever. But luckily, I didn't have to actually work at the club this weekend because I had already asked off for Halloween like forever ago. So I didn't have to work the club on Halloween day, on the Halloween weekend, because I don't think I have to tell you guys, Halloween weekend gets fucked up at the club. It gets absolutely fucked up. I don't know, I haven't got a chance to talk with my buddies yet, or any of the other bouncers yet, to see if see if anything happened. That almost certainly did. Something almost certainly happened while I was gone. But I guess we'll see. I never got into Wolfenstein. Not much of a shooter player, unless it's like a bit more of a boomer shooter, like Doom. Yeah, any club you go to, pretty much any. Well, it's just the reason I say that is because the club that I work at as a bouncer is, I mean, it's not exactly like a rough and tumble kind of like roadhouse place, you know, it's not like a biker bar, but it still gets a good share, of fights, you know, lots of them. Every single night, and I mean this literally, every single night that I go out to the club, I'm expecting to get into a fight every goddamn day. Because even if there's not a single incident from 8 p.m. when it opens, when the doors actually open, all the way till 2 p.m. when we actually start closing the door, the last 15 minutes is when everybody decides to lose their shit all at the same time. It's like a fucking airborne zombie virus hits the air and everyone turns into a goddamn animal. And it just happens all at the same time. So I can be standing there thinking, this is nice. We're finally having a good night where everybody's being cool, nobody's trying to hit on anyone else's girlfriend, no one's trying to feel up the bartenders. This is great. What a good day to be a bar bouncer. And then literally 15 minutes before closing time, everybody becomes the Joker all at the same time. Yeah. One v one? No, no. They are always packing, and if you go to a biker bar, they don't check you at the door. Whereas, like, you know, for like guns and knives and shit, we're not like a biker bar. So like, we check the door. We check people at the door for like guns and knives and shit. So, you know, no one's gonna be packing heat on us. That's why one of the reasons why we don't get bikers at the club is because we check the doors and make sure nobody is packing heat. We even check the ladies. Fucking last time that someone actually snuck a gun into the club, it was some guy gave it to their bitch and they like pulled it out on they like just pulled it out of their purse. Whenever he pulled his gun out, pulled it out of her fucking purse. You never know to talk about how good of a night it is. No, I don't even have to talk about it. I'm just standing there, just completely standing there, doing nothing because nothing is happening. and then out of nowhere, just everything starts happening all at the same time. It's like people planned it. It's like people just decided to plan some kind of watching spooky ghost stuff. Hey, I'm not spooky. A lot of shit always comes in waves. Yeah, it must be something in the air or something in the drinks. That's what we always say as a joke, because it's obviously the alcohol. Mass hysteria just pops in out of nowhere. Alex Jones, right? Yes, common Alex Jones correct point. Very common, super duper common. Had a little Saturday nights, but yes, he was just packing. He knew that we check all the gentlemen, but we weren't checking the ladies because like we had too many complaints of like there were a lot of really bad bouncers at the time who were like spending a little too much time frisking the girls, and that was like not cool. So we just stopped entirely frisking girls. But I mean, god damn it, if they're gonna be packing heat for their boyfriends, we don't really have a choice, you know, especially not in Texas. Priority is a lady. We should, but lo and behold, no ladies want to work as bouncers at the club. It's not like we discriminate. There's no nobody asks. There is no ladies want to be bouncers at the club. Or a gay male bouncer. Honestly, you want to know the absolute truth? The place that I work out, the place that I work at, the bar is not the most progressive place. I live in the reddest county in Texas, okay? And I'm almost certain that anyone who's not straight that tries to work here, I honestly wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it to any of my friends who were gay or trans or anything other than straight, because I know for a fact that they will just be constantly bombarded with all kinds of like homophobic slurs and shit. It wouldn't be worth it. Would not recommend it to anybody. Unless they themselves were like unless they were like an absolute bear, like a fucking unit, you know? Just be like the biggest fucking bear. Go in there and it's like, call me a slur. I fucking dare you. And then just, just beat the fuck out of them. Out of any bouncer that tries to, any bouncer that tries to give you trouble, you just beat the shit out of them. Which honestly, you could do, and you would earn their respect immediately. You'd probably beat you'd probably like actually do a lot of progressive good by just beating up anybody who thinks that anybody who's homophobic. You'd probably get a lot of respect by doing that. There's a lot of guys here who don't understand that that gay guys are some of the strongest and most fit people on the planet, and could probably fold a good portion of these bouncers if they wanted to. I nearly meet that criteria, then by all means, send in your application. I'll give it to my boss. Because the thing is, like, my boss, he is a progressive guy. He doesn't care. He doesn't discriminate. But a lot of the guys that I work with are either white trash or like some of the most thug wannabe dudes in the area. They don't exactly have a lot of prospects for their future. Let's put it that way. So they grow up conservative, being, again, living in the reddest county in Texas, which is saying something. But my boss is like, you know, he's a pretty cool guy. Pretty cool, progressive guy. Yeah, come on down to Texas from, what is that, MT? Is that Montana? A bear bouncer? Yes. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like give my anthro model like one of those little earpieces, the little curly earpieces. That's what we use on the job. Let's see, I'm actually gonna, this is a little challenging because he didn't have a perfect like reference. Like a perfect side or front reference, which, you know, not a lot of people do, but we do well with what we have. But I gotta say, despite all the shit that happens at the club, you know, that there's basically a fight almost every day that I work there, it's not bad. I actually have a lot more fun at this job than I've had pretty much anywhere else. Not even joking. Not even joking. Because like, it's the first kind of almost service job where if someone's acting like an asshole, I can just call them an asshole directly to their face. With no repercussions. Absolutely no repercussions. I can just straight up, if someone's being an asshole, call them an asshole to their face, and even probably kick them out with my own two hands, which is, you know, how many times have you worked in retail or in some kind of service industry job where you got to, you know, just tell somebody, hey, motherfucker, like, you're out of here, bitch. Like, and then just like take them in a full Nelson and just drag their drunk ass out of the building. Like, how many times have you been able to do that? Who is an asshole? Me. It's me. It's me. Yeah, true, based and true. Yeah, I know, but it's okay. I own it, so it's fine. It's all right. It's okay. I know. You kind of have to be a little bit of an asshole to do this job. A little bit. Ow, Flippy. But no, as we're talking about my job as a bar bouncer. I'm just saying how like it always gets crazy. Gets a little wild, a little nutty. Everybody be acting like a goofy goober up in there. Imagining waitresses, they can if they wanted to. Hell, just the last Friday, I wasn't working Saturday, but I did work Friday, and our cook. She's this wonderful older Mexican woman. We'll just call her Lupe for this here stream. She got into a fight in the alley with some. I don't even honestly know how it happened, but she got into the fight with some in the alley. And just imagine, like, if you're Mexican, like your oldest tia goes out into the alley and just starts whipping the hell out of this younger Mexican girl, and just starts like, we're just like, oh no, Lupe, no, she was just kicking the shit out of this girl. Oh, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. She ripped out her hair and everything. The cops were called, unfortunately. We didn't call the cops. We don't call the cops unless shots are fired. And even then, most of the time, we don't. Like, if the shots are fired, that's, you know, and we call the cops. But if it's just a fight, even if it's like a huge all-out brawl, we do not call the police at all. But yeah, I think that one of the girls outside called the police, and yeah, Lupe was running. Hey, Red Mage. In general, like in a Denny's, I wish, you know, honestly. Well, you got to work at a Waffle House. What you just described is Waffle House. That's where you get to do that kind of stuff. I've seen Waffle House employees just like kick people out before. Do they have Waffle Houses everywhere? Or is that like a local thing? This lovely Derg is Jarek, a Cascadian blood dragon. I don't know what Cascadian means, but I feel like I have a decent idea of what blood dragon means. Maybe it's an in-lore thing. Maybe he's got his own lore going on. Highway food? Yes. It's good though. They got good waffles. They have really good waffles. Y'all can't be hating on Waffle House, okay? I'll fight you. Like to apologize. We don't accept your apology. We don't. We do not accept your apology. How dare you come into our turf and try to take our job? Dicker jibs. We do the fighting. You do the drinking. It's an East Midwest thing. Oh, yeah, we got lots of them down here. They are wonderful. I love them. They make just the best food. I don't even know what's considered South anymore, dude. There are people over in Arizona who are like, yeah, we live in the South. Like, do you? Is it? I mean, technically, I guess you're south of something, but like, I don't even know anymore, dog. It comes a certain point where I'm just like, whatever, I guess. See, I'm gonna go ahead and draw on them out. Flippy, stop trying to lick me. You're gross. You're nasty. You smell like fish. Well, too bad. We don't accept your apology because that's our job. We do the fighting. Anyone else who does the fighting is muscling in on our territory. Ow, Flippy, stop. Jesus. He's getting rowdy. All right, let's see if we can find a little spot. Carve out a little nose. Something like that. No, you let us do the fighting. Otherwise, you're not any better than the guy who started the fight. If you want to fight, become a bouncer. Put in your application. Then we'll talk. Because we've had people, literally, like, not even joking, we've had people make that fucking argument. They're like, yeah, you're on my side, right? No, fuck you, you're getting kicked out too. Like, even if you didn't start the fight, even if you did not start the fight, we kick your ass out because it's like, you're like, whoa, dog, I didn't even start it. Like, but yeah, but you kept fighting anyway, bitch. Like, no. Like, no, dog. You're going outside with the rest of them. Oh yeah, I took out Lorebot. I could not get it to work anymore, so I just assumed not have him on the stream. If I just can't get it to work. Alright, hang on, I'm just gonna start adding multi-resolution. How's the weather? It's cold as fuck. I hate it. I hate it. How cold? Like 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is deathly cold to me. I hate it. .24-ish? Yikes. Disgusting. If it's gonna be this cold, the least it can do is snow for us. Because at least in the snow, I can build a big-ass, like, snowman. You guys feel me? You know what I'm talking about? I really shouldn't spend so much time trying to sculpt in these details, because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this. Just knowing where the nostril is enough. It's not gonna matter, really, because we're just gonna be re-topologizing it anyway. Thank you, thank you. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna help get another reference in here by getting like a T-Rex head side profile view or something. T-Rex head side profile. Because that's what he wants. He wants a Rex-like head, and I'm gonna give it to him. But I need a reference. God damn it. Side view. This'll work. Or no. Just a nice side profile would be great. I swear, why are all artists like so hostile to 3D modelers, dude? Just give me a side profile. All right, maybe this, nope. Let's try this one. Want to hear something? Let's hear it. I toss a person. Fantastic. I got called a noob for not drawing each frame. Each frame? Talk about for like an animation? I'd extend this out? Yeah, probably. It does need to be a bit longer. Brought this like, ooh. Oh, like they wanted you to do every single frame? Have to keyframe? No, that's bad. You do not want to keyframe every single frame in 3D animation. That is a huge no-no. That's how you get choppy ass animation. You get real choppy animation that way. 2D maybe. I mean, I think you pretty much have to some extent. But no, not in 3D. That's a big no-no. Well, happy birthday, Red Mage. How many thousand years old are you now? Yeah, what a fucking idiot, dude. I swear to God. Has no idea, has absolutely no clue that 3D, I mean, sure, there are ways that we can automate things and make things easier for ourselves, but that's true for 2D art in a lot of ways as well. It just is. And it's absolute cope for anyone to say that, like, because in 3D art we can, you know, just take the model and just move it around, means that we have it easier, is an absolute misunderstanding of what goes into 3D animation. Now, some people will use that as like a defense for AI images, but a big difference there is that AI images are not just an automation tool, it is downright theft. And anyone who actually thinks that AI art or not even art, AI images and art are actually indistinguishable, or, you know, as long as the output is the same, doesn't matter, you're an inhuman psychopath and I hate you. Anyways. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was gonna add in my reference image. Yeah, for the way that, yeah, it is very blatantly theft. Very blatantly theft. Yeah, I mean, public lobbies in general are just bad ideas. You know, there's no good reason to hang out in those lobbies anymore. The community just, I mean, it's not even like a VRChat problem, it's just a internet problem. An internet socialization space problem. You know? You get enough people together and like they're gonna just be dumb, be annoying, and be a problem. I mean, just like even in real life, you know, just like at the bars and the clubs, you know, I don't see fights breaking out every day in my normal life. No, I see it at the club. That's the only place I see fights happen on a regular basis all the time. And it's because there's a lot of people kind of constrained into one spot. Or socializing in one spot. I mean, this also doesn't happen at the mall very much. Haven't been in VRChat. I don't think it's gotten worse. Truth be told, I honestly don't think it's gotten worse. I think it's just that going into a public lobby is in and of itself always been and always will be a risk that you are willing to take by going into a public lobby. For one, it is a game for children. Like, let's face it, guys. This game VRChat was not made strictly for adults. Any video game, honestly, I will say right now, any video game should almost certainly expect children to get their hands on it. Parents do not give a fuck, all right? A good portion of parents do not give a fuck what a game is rated or what can happen on those games. Like, if you've been in any COD lobby in the last 25 years, I know COD's not been around that long, but you know what I'm talking about. You know that there is nothing that happens in a video game or any video game that is worse than what happens in COD lobbies, okay? It is what it is, and VRChat is in no different. It's basically a COD lobby with waifus and furries everywhere. Parents don't understand. I honestly think that they do now, because the parents today grew up with video games and rating systems. My parents didn't understand because they're old as hell. They didn't understand video games at all. They were old, really old. They had me in their 40s. But if I'm 30 years old. If I had a kid like fresh out of high school, he'd be 12 years old right now. And he'd be playing video games. And I feel like I have an understanding of these games, you know, and I feel like I'm not alone in out of my peers. You know, a good portion of the parents or people that I grew up with are parents now. And I feel like they understand it. This is no longer like a parents don't understand thing. It's just like they don't care thing. They know, they just don't care. I guess that's the only thing I can imagine. That's the only explanation I can think of, is that they just don't care. So, I mean, we have to kind of accept that fact that anytime you go into a public lobby, you're going to be dealing with children, underage people, or people who are just like unsociable. I mean, I feel like on average, a good portion of the people that like spend a large amount of their time online in general are not super sociable people, you know, not the kind of people that you'd meet, you know, just in a regular setting. It's kind of, I feel like the people that you hang out with online that are actually kind of sociable and are, you know, non-problematic, are actually able to communicate well, are few and far between. You know, you have to kind of be, that's why, you know, we have to be careful who we associate with online. But, and so I say that, so when you go into VRChat lobbies, I mean, if you go into a public world, you're just opening yourself up to whoever you happen to bump into. So I wouldn't say that it's worse. I would just say, you know, it's as bad as it's always been and always will be. That being said, though, I don't really play VRChat very much anymore. There's not really anything to do in VRChat. If you ask me, like if I'm playing anything, I'm playing. If I'm playing anything at all, I'm playing like Ragnarok or just games, like actual video games in VR. The more time I've spent in VRChat, the more I was just like, oh, why am I here? What am I doing here again? Or either that, or I'm like with a huge party of people, like a very large group. Like sometimes there's like this 3D modeler group that I hang out with, and sometimes we'll get online. See, does he want like a really big jaw? Probably not. Some people don't want like the mouth that extends practically all the way back past the face. Probably just, well, maybe? Let's see. It goes back kind of far, but maybe just like halfway. About half as far as you'd see on like a real T-Rex, realistic looking T-Rex. So like something there. Yeah, honestly, like the best fight, the way to win every single fight is to not get into them. Like, you know, even if no matter what they call you, you know, like it doesn't matter what they fucking call you. I think the only times is like if you legitimately feel like your life is in danger, or if you feel like the people around you are in danger. Can't be the world police, you know. There's one bouncer who we often have to get onto because he has this kind of a hero complex where he feels like he has to interfere in every situation that erupts in the club, or even outside, or not in the club. He's supposed to do it in the club, but outside the club. So like, there was this. I wasn't there for this. This was before I started working there, but there was this. Unfortunate event where this guy was beating up on his girlfriend or whoever his date or whoever he brought to the club. I wasn't there, but they kicked his ass out. You know, roughed him up a little bit, kicked his ass out. But then, you know, the girl follows him out, and of course, down the street, he continues doing the same shit. But at that point, there's nothing we can do except, well, I mean, just go back inside. Because, I mean, sure, we could call the cops. And, you know, it's not against the rules for us to do so. It's just what you think is the right move here. I would, but I can understand why some of the bouncers in there don't. Can't be the world police, you know. Hey, Forshren, how's it going? Long time no see. Been a long time since I've streamed. Finally getting back into it. I've been adjusting my sleep. You and me both, honestly. I'm like working nights now, so I'm like having to get used to being up much, much later. Late as fuck, yeah. Hooray! My other night shift buddies. Hey. Well, mine's not a true night shift. I mean, I get home at like 3 in the morning, so it's like a midnight shift. I don't know. I don't know how you describe that. Getting home at 5. Okay, so you got it slightly worse than I do. What's funny is that Nessie has like the same schedule, but not because she has to. She's not working those hours. That's just how late she always stays up. That's just her. That's just her. It's a her thing. The art installation? To block the light. Oh yeah, because because of the it's hard to sleep during the day whenever the light's peeking in. That's rough. That's rough. That's real rough. All right, let's see if I can't. It's beautiful, beautiful home decor. Very beautiful home decor. Got a new person in our Discord. Welcome, Candy. Welcome to the Discord. It's a statement. It's just a statement on capitalism, because it's like a bunch of Amazon boxes. That's what it is. You're making a protest, some kind of protest. Amen. Amen. It's funny. Not gonna lie, it does kind of look like where we used to smoke weed back in high school. Like, because like they have cardboard boxes just up on the wall to block out the windows so no one could look in the windows. Nessie wants to get some blackout curtains too. Not because of the sun, but just because she's kind of afraid that people are like looking in our windows. And I'm like, no, nobody's looking in our windows. Of course, I might just tell myself that because I like walk around like basically naked half the time, and like I'm like, yeah, they can't see me. They probably can't see me. They might not be able to see me. I mean, even if they see me, they won't see much. To cope, because I'm like, I don't want to put on clothes. I don't want to walk around my house fully clothed like I have guests over all the time. And why should I? It's my house. I'm the same way. You know, I can't remember which sitcom it was. No, it was Friends. It was Friends, where they have like the neighbor who's always naked and he barely has any curtains. That's me. That's me. I'm that guy. He does want a model that's slightly realistic, which is great. No cartoony models today. Derek's getting a badass dragon today. That's what we like to see. Hell yeah. So that's why we gotta actually take some care when modeling out his eyes so that they actually have eyelids. I need to poke Jarek again. You should. You should. But now he'll have a model to poke you back with. Makes good content. It really does. Like, I think he's really nailed the content creator. Like he makes good gaming content, which is rare in the VTubing sphere. I have watched a lot of VTubers who are YouTubers, you know, not just streamers, who just do not know how to make content at all. You'd think they'd never watched YouTube a day in their lives. Derek's got it figured out. Grab and elastic deform. Elastic deform, imagine like grab would be without the proportional editing on, just grabbing one thing or whatever is within the inside of the cursor. So it'd be like if the cursor was this big, it would grab this much. Elastic deform, on the other hand, would grab slightly more than what's outside the cursor. So I like to use elastic deform, and a lot of other people do as well. Because like grabs that much, but elastic deform with the same cursor size will grab more outside of it. Can you get a similar thing? Yes, you actually can. That would be the exact same thing, but they just have it as a default separate brush so that you can have both and bind them to two different hotkeys. So like if I want grab, I press G, and if I want elastic deform, I press Shift G. You know, so if I want grab, I have it, and if I want elastic deform, I also have it. All right, let me see. Yeah, I mean, really, you can have as many brushes as you want. Like, you can add more and just change the, you know, you could just take the draw brush and then make it slightly different and then turn it into its own brush. Bind it to its own hotkey. All right, now we are gonna add some, actually I wanna see exactly, he does have plating here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add it in because he doesn't have a lot of scales, or he doesn't have any scales, according to him, his description. He doesn't want to have like detailed scales like mine, but he does want this plating over the eyes. So we will go ahead and do that. I love how I made his head really big though. This model's definitely gonna need to be a little, I'm going to scale that down a little bit, but I'm sure I can do that here in a minute. Let's see. He has a big old head, yeah. Looking cobalt looking ass, like beef up the model. Well, I mean, I can just do this. I'm just gonna plop. Doesn't really matter though. All right, let's see. What's the best way to do this? Maybe the layer brush? Wow, much strength. Let's see, first of all, let's count the plates. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, then the horn. Is that consistent, or is that just, yes. Yep, 4 than the horn. So we will do that. Actually, first off, let's make ourselves a mask. Really don't want this to affect like the whole mesh or the eyeball. There we go. It's still too much strength. And this doesn't need to be perfect. The reason that we're even modeling this in right now is because I am going to try to retopologize the base mesh to be designed to have this plating in mind. That way it looks its best even at its lowest poly form. So when we start sculpting on higher poly details, it won't just be a flat silhouette going across the head right here. Because like example would be, save this. I have Lore's Dragon. Yeah, Lore's Dragonborn is a good example. So even though he has plating on his back, this is all just a normal map. Because like if you look really closely, it's like it's painted on, right? So if I were to make like a blank silhouette of this model, just a straight up black silhouette of this model, you probably wouldn't see that, well, here you go. You don't see the plating at all. Which is, is by design. That's the way I wanted it. It would have been way too much work to retopologize a back like this. And it's not really needed, especially for a model that needed to be quest compatible. Same thing goes for his chest. It does look 3D from a distance. But again, it's just a flat surface. I think the high poly is different. Let me see. Yeah, the high poly version is different. Yeah, see the plating is like all there. Same with back here. Like if I were to retopologize this model again, I would probably add topology along the back that actually makes like a really rough outline of these plates, which is what we're about to do with Jarek's model, at least on his head. As you can see here. Alright, this playlist was kind of fun and Halloween themed for a second, but goddamn, it's starting to put me to sleep. Like, I love John Carpenter as much as the next guy, but goddamn, you can only take so much John Carpenter-based music for so long. So I'm thinking tomorrow for our stream, I think I'm gonna do a gaming stream. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, where I play one of my favorite horror games, Bramble. Have any of you guys ever heard of that game? I know it's like, it's got a different feel to it. It's not really a jump scare kind of game. The horror that you get from it is more, I don't think of a good movie example. Atmospheric, so I don't really know. Maybe Haunting on Hill House to some extent. I've heard of it. Fantastic. I'm glad I'm not the only person. Bramble is such a good game, but I don't know if I'd recommend it to a lot of people, because unless like you don't care how short it is. Like if you like paying for games that are just a good experience, then Bramble is definitely for you, but it is short. It is really fucking short. The thing is like a game of its style, I don't think could be any longer than it was. If the game was had like 20 hours worth of gameplay, it would have sucked. It would not have been the same experience at all. But that being said, I think it could have been a little bit cheaper if it was going to be that short. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys, because I really could beat it in the span of a single stream. You know, it's that short. And it's a great story. I'd say that anybody who likes a good horror story, a well-written horror story, will be in for a good time. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't have anything else planned. I've obviously had like a ton of other ideas, like making a Halloween-themed model, a whole Halloween-themed VTuber model or something. But I don't know if I had the time. I had that idea before I started, doing art part-time instead of full-time. So, don't think I got the time to make a whole ass model just for Halloween. I also thought about pulling out the old scratch mask because I got it fixed, but man, I really don't want to. I don't want to. It's uncomfortable. I don't want to stream in that shit for however many hours. But it is fixed. I mean, I could make videos with it again. For any of you who even remember what that looks like. Left 4 Dead 2, classic. Gotta say, I got a pretty hot take when it comes to Left 4 Dead, and that's that I like Back 4 Blood better. My sister hates me for that. She almost disowned me for that, because she likes Back 4 Blood, but she was like, you cannot think it's better than Left 4 Dead. Like, I do. I'm sorry. I like the card system. I like the way that we can build our characters like it's fucking Vermintide, but Left 4 Dead. Sorry, I'm just totally sold. Yeah, that was about it. Yeah, there we go. I did like Vermintide, Darktide, and all those games too, but me and my sister never really got around to finishing them. We just, ended up playing other stuff. Like right now, we have a hard enough time getting through Baldur's Gate. Like neither of us can can play it by ourselves, which it's just, we've gotten to a point where it's like we just can't bring ourselves to play it by ourselves. Because like every time we do, we're like, this is fun, but it's not as much fun as we could be having if we were playing with each other. It's kind of like if you promised you would not watch a certain show or a new episode of a certain show without your significant other. It's kind of like that. And then you watched it anyways, and then you feel bad. You feel like a scumbag. That's me. As much as I do want to play fucking Baldur's Gate, I have not gotten very far in it because of that. My sister's very busy. She works a real person, like a real grown-ass job, grown-ass person job. Just doesn't have as much time to game. All right, let's add that plating. Another thing I was kind of wanting to get into is Warhammer Fantasy. That was like a video game, but even though the Total War game looks pretty fun, I want to get back into playing it tabletop. And I think it'd be kind of a cool thing to stream using Tabletop Simulator. But I'm not really sure if I want to go through the trouble of that just yet. Because I'd have to relearn. I know the game has changed so much since I played it last, which was 15 years ago? Yeah, it was a long ass time ago. Let's see, where does the plating start? Right between the brows. Oh wait. Invert mask. Take another look at that plating real quick. Okay, it comes up to a point. I do remember when I played Warhammer Fantasy before, I had a Lizardman army, and at the time Lizardmen weren't exactly like the meta army. Hey Nick, how's it going? Speaking of kobolds, no. Speaking of Lizardmen. But no, I used to have a Lizardman army, and it wasn't exactly the meta at the time. Like, everybody played Chaos. Everybody. everybody played Chaos or Dark Elves. And I didn't do super well at first. I was kind of new, and I only wanted to play like the units that looked really cool, like the Temple Guard or the dinosaurs, like the really big fucking dinosaurs, because I thought, you know, they were the coolest models, and they spent the most time painting those models. And like, yeah, I just did not do super well. But then I had somebody who was like a regular player of the game, like a really good player. Like I told him I was having trouble enjoying the game because the army that I wanted to play was just not good at the moment. It just wasn't after that update. And I was like, well, damn, I spent all this money. I spent all this time painting them. I feel like I fucked up. I feel like I should have played something else. And he's like, no, you got it all wrong. And then he tells me, you're just playing the wrong units. He said, any army in this game can beat any other army in this game. You just have to be willing to play whatever is necessary to win. If that is your goal, is to just win, which it was. I mean, if I'm not fucking around, you know, if I'm playing a game, I play to win. You know, I'm not here to just fuck around and waste time, especially with as much money as I'm pouring into this goddamn hobby. Best believe I'm playing to win. But so he helped me set up a brand new army, almost entirely based with skinks. And if you don't know, for those of you that don't know, in the Warhammer world, there are the Lizardman army is mostly consisted of like 3 intelligent types of lizardmen. There's the typical lizardmen, the Saurus, who are like, you know, your average sized humanoid lizard who, you know, they're kind of buff, they're kind of strong. Then you have the Croxigores, which are what you consider like large category. You know, they take up more, they take up 4 bases instead of just the 1. You know, and they're about twice as tall, looking like fucking Hulk lizardmen, you know, really big motherfuckers. Like the ogres of lizardmen, but also lizards. And then you have the skinks, which are like small. Like imagine like if you could think ogres, orcs, and goblins. Think of that, but as lizardmen. The skinks are the goblins of the lizardmen army. And they fight like skirmishers, which means that you can place them from the very beginning of the game right next to your enemy's side of the table. And they use poison, which was at the time a little bit busted. I don't know if it ever got nerfed or changed or whatever, but at the time it was like if you rolled a 6 on your damage, you inflicted an automatic wound, regardless of what their armor was. So the reason that Chaos was played so much, or one of the reasons they were played so much, is because even their most basic units had a ton of armor, just a shitload of armor. So they were really hard to kill, really hard to hit. So if a single unit of Chaos strolled up, you better have artillery or magic to mow them down, and then you're wasting all of your artillery and magic on their weaker units, which are still strong as hell, instead of using it on their tougher units, which is, you know, it's hard. It makes them really hard to fight. But the skinks, because they use poison, and because they were so cheap, you can just deploy just shitloads of them. I would just deploy just a ridiculous, an almost stupid number of skinks onto the battlefield and just completely overwhelm my opponent with just nothing but poison. And it didn't matter how many of my people they killed, because the way that you win Warhammer is based on a points total. So if I kill more points worth of units than you kill of mine, even if you wipe out all of my skinks by like the second or third turn, I still can win, because my skinks are worth nothing. You know, they're worth very little points, even though they took out way more of your, you know, Giga Chad Chaos soldiers that are each worth like 12 times what mine are worth. So yeah, it was it was kind of a troll army, really. It was literally what it felt like at the time, because it was cheap, because skinks were cheap. relatively. Still expensive because it's Warhammer. They were cheap points-wise, so it means I could deploy a shitload of them, and I could deploy them right next to you. So there was no running away. Like, there was nothing you could do to place your army in a specific way to not get completely bodied by my skinks. My skink suicide squad. But that was back in the day. I honestly don't know if Warhammer's changed at all since then. I imagine that they had, because I have a feeling that would have been the kind of army that people would bring to a tournament and everyone would just start rolling their eyes like, oh my god, it's this fucking guy again. I heard about Total Warhammer kind of becoming a, you know, kind of a dead game, which is kind of sad considering I always wanted to try to get into it. But here we are, I guess. Hey Ramon, how's it going? Saying criticism was a privilege? I don't think I fully understand what that even's supposed to mean. What are they saying? Like, what point are they trying to make? Hey Toe Muncher, how's it going? Look, I'm back. I'm streaming again. Bet you thought you'd never see me again. Oh, criticizing them is a privilege. That's fucking funny. Oh, that's so nutty. That's such a nutty fucking thing to say. Yeah, I know that. I imagine they lost some content creators over it. There we go. I think that is pretty much as much detail as I need for now. Just kind of mapping out the plating here. I guess I do need to kind of grab this a little bit. Pull that out. Damn it. We're about to split some toes here in just a second, Toe Muncher. Because this one has, the base mesh that I'm using for this has 3 toes and he needs 4. So we're gonna have to split one of the toes in 2 and clone it. This looks pretty good. Let's take another look. Just a little bit more of a chin or jawline. Technically 5. Oh, true, true. But he does have a dew claw already. So he's got four toes and then the dew claw. The dude claw. Anyone else got big plans for Halloween day itself? I already did my Halloween plans, but what's everyone else got going on? Nothing really planned. Yeah, that's the way it is. When Halloween falls on a Tuesday. God damn it. So today, well, that's nice. At least you got something going on. Too big. I'm trying to pick a movie for me and Nessie to watch. There's not really anything out in theaters right now that we haven't already seen because we just go to the movies just all the damn time. So we've pretty much seen everything that we want to see. Well, that's not true. There is one movie I still want to see, Killers of the Flower Moon. But that's not really a horror movie. You know, I want to watch a horror movie on Halloween. You know, I don't know what I'm in the mood for because it's my day. It's my day. So Nessie lets me pick the movie. So I have one chance here. I got one chance to pick like a really good movie. Really good horror movie. I just don't know. Don't know what I'm feeling. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just see what it looks like with some basic eyeballs and horns put in there. So let's append our eyes. Hey, where are they? No. There we go. He's a gecko. Guess we can go ahead and make this the correct color. I think his sclera color is white. Yeah, it is. But we'll make it just slightly off-white. There we go. Of course, his pupil is black. Color darks. Let's make this just slightly red. Just a dark red. There we go. That's what we need. Beautiful. Well, great. You just got confetti everywhere. You have any idea how hard it is to clean this shit up? Do you have any idea how hard it is to clean this shit up? Damn Cobalt. Oh, hey guys, Jarek's just completely zoinked. He's just like, I don't know what he just took. What did he just take to make his people look like this? Whoa. Blood. Yeah, he accidentally pulled a little bit of blood from a party he probably shouldn't have pulled blood from. Make that specular a little smaller. That's what we like to see. I think I made his chin a little too Chad-like, just a little too giga. Got Sir Julian. That's weird. Guess you gave him one too many gifts. You want him to have a Chad chin, but not a giga Chad chin, you know? Thaxton, thank you for the follow, my friend. Welcome to the Lore Cave. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This looks really good. I'm really happy with this. Last Thursday, there was a big Halloween party at the club. And some fucking, like the guys who were running the party, for some fucking reason, were just blasting confetti guns into the crowd. Like the DJs who were blasting confetti guns into the crowd. And immediately I was like, oh no. God damn it. Glad to see another dragon, though I'm only a part-time. Well, that's okay. I'm only a part-time dragon too. During my off hours, I'm a human bar bouncer / MMA trainer. Izanachi. I don't know who you're talking about. I honestly don't. I might be missing the reference. There we go. Let's make that shin. I gotta use this human flesh. I don't use it to blend in. I use it so that I can do the convenient things that humans can do. Like take the bus, drive, play video games with a normal sized keyboard. It's convenient being this as big as a human, okay? It's very, very convenient and way less expensive. The male Joan Rivers, ooh, ew, ew. Yeah, there definitely is like a limit. I never like insult people for getting plastic surgery or any work done at all, but there is like a limit to that. You know, there's only a limit to my good faith when it comes to that. You know, there comes a point where it's just like, man, you really, really need some help. Like when it comes down to like synthol injections into your goddamn muscles, I think at that point it's time to seek help. The expense part, yes. I mean, just like the amount of beef that I have to eat to satiate my need for beef is insane. You have any idea? It's bankrupting. It's absolutely bankrupting how much money it takes for me to build a burger for myself. Just a burger. Because it's not just the cows that I'm buying. I have to buy their feed. I have to buy their lodging, their land. Like, it's just, there's the cows. There's fucking cows, man. You can just go hunt them. I'm not a thief. I will not hunt cows. How many wild cows do you think there are in the world? Not nearly enough to sustain the dragon population, I'll tell you that. I'm not gonna steal cows. If I want them that badly, then I will take care of them myself. The least I can do for my meat is take care of it first. If I'm gonna slaughter and eat it, I could at least have taken care of it first. Chickens, on the other hand, I don't give a fuck about no chickens. I'll eat them chickens. That's why we have the chicken wing machine gun. And also, I don't want it raw. I want it cooked. I want it processed. I want my cows to be infused with all of the growth hormones and all of that stuff. I don't wild cows. Disgusting. Diseases. Disgusting. Filled with disease, ridden with all kinds of weird pests and worms. I don't need any of that. I want them processed. You got an immune system. You don't want, just because you got one doesn't mean you want to put it to the test. Do not put thine immune system to the test. It should be a last resort. They're better when you eat them alive. You don't even taste your food. I could eat a basketball. I could eat a car filled with basketballs whole, and it would taste the same as swallowing a cow whole, okay? I like to chew and savor my food. And also, I don't want it to be alive whenever I eat it. Deer, okay, now deer, maybe. Maybe. That's definitely a maybe. Oh yeah, I forgot I was sculpting with a multi-resolution modifier. I was like, low-res jump scare. You, guys, this is you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. This is me. No. Let's see. I think that should do it for the sculpt on the head. Let's start retopologizing. Let's get rid of the body for a little bit. The armature. And this. Alright, mirror modifier. We'll start with the eyes. Hornless and boneless. It's the same way that Nessie eats her chicken wings. Like a fucking degenerate. If you're gonna eat chicken wings, you better eat them with the goddamn bone in. Be a man. I like my grown-up chicken nuggets. They're still not grown-up chicken nuggets. They are still just baby chicken nuggets. They just called some and marketed as something different and are about 4 times as expensive. Bone in, or not, or get them away from me. Get them out of my face. It's making me hungry over here. A little bit more. Up. Tastes like heaven. All right, there's our eyes. Let's get our mouth loop. Sleepy. So I need to pick a scary movie to watch with my wife tonight. Or not tonight, but tomorrow. Because tomorrow's Halloween. I need some recommendations. You guys need to help me out here. I need to pick something good. Because I don't get to pick the movie often, if you know what I mean. So I gotta make tonight count. Really gotta make tonight count. All right, we're gonna make him look like the Joker for a second. Do you want to know how I got these scars? I was trying to see if I could still do an ollie on a skateboard at the age of 30, and I couldn't do it. But then I remembered I never could. A UFC 32 in VRChat. For VRChat's probably what you mean. I have no idea what you're talking about. Alright, got our mouth loop. Got him looking like the Joker a little bit. Let's add our nasal loop. There we are. A lot of people really hate on the process of retopologizing, but I really enjoy it. Like a puzzle. A puzzle game. That's how you get your models to look really good. You know, this is really what makes your models look great. Make sure that your topology is like really good. Ah. Let's see. We're gonna need a loop back here for the horns. I didn't miss any horns, did I? Like that's how many? Okay, yeah, he just has those horns coming out, and the rest are like the black horns. They don't really have like a base modeled in. Yeah, see, they're not like modeled in really. Oh yeah, I was wondering why this wasn't like shrink wrapping on. It's because I don't have the shrink wrap modifier on. Yeah. There we go. Now whenever I extrude, it will shrink wrap onto the model. But I do want it to offset just a little bit. So that way it floats over the model. Okay. Why isn't this working? Oh, that's why. Outside surface. There we go. That's better. And this is why we do it. This is why we sculpt the head first, before retopologizing it. Okay, what else do we need? What other loops do I need? I can't remember. Is he getting ARKit tracking? Let me double check. Check his invoice. Alright, doesn't look like it. Well, either way, I'll go ahead and model him so that he can be used with ARKit tracking later. With that in mind. Flippy, lay down. Lay down, you monster. Right, there's our nasal loop. Jawline. That's what we need next. Normally I would try to put this like right above the head, like to loop it all the way back around. But because of how the brows are going to be modeled, don't think that's going to be a useful idea. Like normally I'd loop this back around. Or loop this like down to here. But not today. Flippy, stop. Let's see, are there any other loops? Not really. I used to put this one loop that kind of acts as like a raccoon mask, because that's something you use in like humanoid models whenever you're making humanoid faces. But honestly, I don't really know if it's useful for dragons or models that have a head structure like this, because like it would have to go like over the nose right here. Like, I guess it could still be useful, but I'm not really sure how much. Oh well. I'll try not doing it this time. See if it even makes a difference. And just start filling in the rest of these circles. So I'm making another loop that circles around the entire brow line. And I'm stopping the vertexes right at those points where the plating starts. We're going to be using that pretty quick. Then we just bring that loop to a close right here at the point where the brow stops. Or where the brow becomes the horn. Like that. Shit, I'm hungry. Did I have lunch? Yeah, I did. Fuck. Okay. Trying to think, what is the best way to do this? Oh. Yeah, I think I know. So basically what we're gonna do, let's go ahead and I'm gonna fill it out like it's not there. Like it's like without the plating in mind. Just putting a line there for now. All right, how am I gonna close this up? Perfect. Cool. Yeah, and then taking these three, turn off that, we're going to extrude them down. This is going to be one of the rare instances where we use a try, right there. A tastefully placed triangle. So if I were to go ahead and just hide this for a second, you can see what I'm talking about and why that's going to be useful. This way we can have our plating modeled in. And because that triangle is not going to be visible, I mean, sure, we can just do this and bam, it's not even a triangle anymore, but this is what we're going to be doing all the way up the brow. All right, same thing with this side. Nice. All right, same thing. Boom. Boom. Yeah, this is working.
There we go. All right, there we have it. We have the topology set up to make that plating look good once we're ready to sculpt in the better details. So now even at a profile, you will see that plating no matter what. Mic drop. All right. Let's do that same thing. See, it doesn't even have a gap between. Not really. The plating just kind of keeps going. So I think what I'll do. I think I'll do that. Hang on. Give it like a single span right there. Yeah, there we go. That's better.
Yeah. Oh. Arcadus1, thank you for the follow, my friend. Welcome to the Lore Cave. If you like dragons, or Blender, or sculpting, or animation, you're in the right place. Gonna be a lot more animating going on in the near future. Just joined a group that wanted me on as their dedicated VTuber model animator, since I know how to do that kind of stuff. So I'll be doing a lot more of those on stream, kind of like you guys saw me do with Fracture, with the Mao's Fracture model. A lot of anime models about to get some animations, which is nice because like I don't know how to make anime models quite as well as they do, so it's going to be kind of fun to take other people's really well-made anime models and animate them. Lots of good practice. I think Jarek has a couple of animations that we're going to be adding for him, but nothing huge, nothing too crazy. Hold up, that's my mother-in-law calling me. Gotta call my wife. All right. Now we're back. Got a plumber coming over to fix the sink. Had to make sure someone was there to let him in. Can't they see that I'm busy right now? I'm busy making art. Doing important things here. I think this can, yeah. At this point, we have all of our loops pretty much ready to go, and all we're doing is filling them out, filling out all the rest. It's not super duper important where every square goes, or every polygon goes, but we want to put some thought into it. And for example, we want like a solid midline here.
I forgot about the poly build tool. I can't believe I forgot about this poly build tool. I remember using this tool when I first started using Blender. And then I guess I completely forgot about it and never used it again, which is insane considering how much I love doing retopology. Well, love might be a strong word, but you know, I like doing it.
right, here we go. Nice. Fucking nice. It has a little higher poly than what we typically go for, but only because the brows, mostly. But that's, I mean, even then it's like barely, just barely high poly. Not even high poly, it's just like barely higher than what I typically do. Won't even be noticeable. Nice, nice, nice. Looking nice. All right, let's just make some adjustments here. All right, let's see if we can get some of these to start looping into themselves. That way we don't have just like a shitload of loops going all the way down the body. Oh, actually, this is fine. This is fine. It looked like it was more than it was. Yeah, it's fine. All right, and then on our body, how many spans do we have? Or how many vertices do we got? All right, so we got 10 vertices going around this way, so that means we can have 10 vertices to use for our neck. I'm not really so sure that we need this anymore. We've pretty much got everything connected the way it needs to be. All right, now we can start kind of just doing this by hand. Jawline and neckline are forming. Just coming natural. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Head is ready to go. At least the outer part of it. Nice. Okay. Eyelids. All right, fire breath for like a second. Control F is my fire breath command, and also like the grid fill command. Remember when this used to be a pain in the ass for me to do? I got my tricks now. Alright, there's our mouth cage, more or less. Yeah, this is the VOR segment of the stream. Mouths are insanely awkward to make. But this is just the mouth cage. I have the mouth already made up here. Or down here. I just used the same mouth for everybody. It's where the gums are and the teeth. It's the same mouth I'm using right now. Congratulations on another successful day of work. All right, let's attach our head. I think they both have the mirror modifier, so they should attach no problem. Perfect. All right, now that our head is attached, we can start sculpting his body to look exactly or closer to the reference. Or like right now his neck is obviously way too long. Let's just take his head here, start squashing it down. His neck isn't quite as long as Lore's Dragonborn. Definitely thicker than that, though. Alright, we're gonna have to give this guy some serious gains. Right now, he looks a little bit like he belongs at Weenie Hut Junior's. Alright, time to get beefy. Beefy. We're just gonna inflate him like anchor arms. We're also going to add some base topology to make it so that he can be a little more muscular. Like for instance, the Lore's Dragonborn didn't have any biceps modeled in. It was just some very basic arms because he was just going to be a quest compatible model. But we can add in a lot more. Uh-oh, that was a mistake. There we go. Don't want his thighs to clip together like that. Otherwise they'll be stuck together. So let's go ahead and turn off clipping. This 10K limit. It's 20K. And no, it's not. There are lots of people who just say fuck it and upload very poor performance models to Quest. But they're not professional 3D modelers. I'm what we call in the industry a GigaChat. So I almost straight up refuse to upload a model unless it's like bare minimum medium performance ranking. We're a very rare breed. Is there a chart for that? Yeah, hang on, I got it saved in my bookmarks. There you go. But honestly, the poly count is not the most important thing. Like, even though it would automatically slap a very poor performance tag on you if you go above the polygon limit, what really drags down a model's performance is fizz bones and material slots. Those are the two big ones. Material slots only because they have textures attached to them. So textures and material slots are like directly related. But those would be the two or the three big things: textures, fizz bones, and material slots. Particles technically, but the thing is like the second you slap on even a single particle onto your model, it gets labeled as a poor performance model. So I don't really count that because it's, you know, it affects it so much that they don't even let you have one without being called a poor performance. Yeah, getting below 10K is very tough. This model is right now, you know, before we even add the horns, the teeth, the eyes, it's gonna be 12K, no clothes. 1 UV, yeah. But the way that you get away with that is to use a material atlas. A material atlas is taking a bunch of materials and kind of smooshing them into a single UV. The problem with that is that it's very hard to get high detail models to look good with that because it takes a single 1K texture. So the more materials you smash into that 1K texture, the more detail you will lose. So doing something like a Sonic the Hedgehog model, you can have like 15 materials, smash them all into one texture atlas, and it probably looks the same. However, that's not the case for, like, say, Lore's Dragonborn, which is like a very high detail sculpt projected onto a low poly model. All right, what was I doing? Oh yeah, we need to give him some basic topology for his pecs. You can't have one material that does multiple things. Well, you can, but not on Quest, because Quest is limited to only the Quest VRChat Quest shaders, which are bare minimum. They are bare bones materials. So you can use the basic shader, the standard Unity shader, which I have a project open. I know that it lets you have emission, metallic map, glossiness map, specular to some extent. Yes, it does, but only like that's what I mean by like using the standard shader. But if you use because you can wait. Well, actually, let me double check that. That might not be true. Let me see. Because it does come with its own shaders whenever you download the SDK. What? Shaders. Yes, you can have a normal map. That's how I get my Lore's Dragonborn to look so high detail. It's just a straight up, really well done normal map with a texture that complements it. Oh yeah, that might be a problem. I'm opening up the Unity project for Lore's Dragonborn, and we'll double check to see what the quest limits are when it comes to shaders. Alright, but first let's give this guy some picks. Bam. Done. Just kidding. Just a slight inset. And just pull that out a little bit, pull it apart. Smooth, 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 smooth. Actually, before we do anything else, let's smooth. That's right. The manliest of boobs. If you don't have these boobs, then you're not a man. I don't make the rules, I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. But he also doesn't need to be quest compatible. He's going to be using a Valve index to play VRChat, so I don't have, this guy doesn't actually have to be. But I build all of my models baseline to basically be quest compatible in case they need them as a fallback. Or if they have friends who play with a quest, they'll still be able to see their model. Despite how hard it is, I know it's difficult because you're not really building a model that can work with modern PC games. What you're building is a model that works with modern, not even modern, mobile games. Because that's what a Quest is basically a mobile game platform. Add a few more spans around the chest. That'll make it so we can get some more detail on these abs. That's fine. These don't have to look super perfect just yet. Just laying down the foundational topology to make these look good later. It looks like he's got a little bit of, don't know exactly what you'd call that, like a little pouch, pot belly, right beneath his belly button. Should be right about here. I think I'm going to add his belly button later. There we go. Now he can have some detailed abs, which we will add here very shortly. But honestly, I think I might have fucked up. I think I made the abs too wide. I did. I definitely did. Oof. How do I undo all of that? Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. Yeah. Yeah, like it wasn't even there. All right, let's try that again. Yeah.
That's definitely
it. Yeah, it's because I had to press the plus button, which is also the hotkey I use to change my voice to the squeaky voice. Whenever your Blender hotkeys are mixing with all of your streaming hotkeys. Oh yeah, this is much better. Oh, this is much better. Yeah, I definitely fucked up over there. All right, and then the lower abs, which will be right here. gonna be beefy. He's gonna be a little beefy. Tastefully beefy, not like fetishistically beefy. Just athletic. Yeah, much better. Okay. Now, his legs don't have a shitload of definition, so we don't have to worry about that so much, but his arms could definitely use some. Since he's not gonna have a bunch of scales, you'll actually see the definition on those arms. Oh yeah, we were gonna look at the, hang on, the quest version of Lore's Dragonborn, so that you guys can get an idea. Of what's possible. Where is it? All right, here is the quest version, I believe. Yes. So it has, let me see, what material is it using? Just the blue material, okay. The blue material, yeah, it's just using the standard shader. You can have an albedo, which is the color, metallic map, which is what I use to give it its shine, normal map, height map, occlusion, detail mask, and emission if we wanted emission. The rest of these I don't even know how to use. So that's up to you to figure out. But yeah, there's a lot you can do with the basic shader on its own. What is a detail mask? I don't really know. I don't exactly know. Let's fuck around and find out. We'll see what happens. The thing is like whenever I export all of my textures from Substance Painter, I don't get a detail mask from Substance Painter, so I don't ever use it. So I don't know exactly what it does. I'm sure I can like look up a YouTube video and figure it out, but so putting a different color over the top of it doesn't really do anything. Since displacement maps create geometry. I don't even know if that's an option for you, honestly. Oh, here's a black and white mask of some kind. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Not that I can see. A height map that always looks bad. Well, it does support height maps, so you could use a height map if you wanted to. But I think that a lot of what you're going to accomplish with a height map, you're going to accomplish with a really well done normal map on its own anyway. Yeah, I've never been able to make a height map look super great, so that might be the best way to go, is just to use the normal map. Yeah, it would just be on the model already, I guess, yeah. If you were just gonna have that geometry, it would just be there already. Yeah. All right, let's add some. Subdivision? No, not native to you. You have to bring that in yourself, or export your model with subdivision. Actually, before we do that, give us a bit of a deltoid to work with. All right, now we have everything we need to, or at least all of the topology present to sculpt our muscles. And the way that he described the way he wanted his muscles was like a NBA basketball player. So that's why we are going to be making his muscles tall, if that makes sense, but not really wide. Like if you look at it from this side, they're going to look like fucking huge, but if you look at it from the front, they're going to look a little flat because he wants to be tall and slender. That's how I interpret that. Yes, Flippy, you are the star of the show. You are the star of the show. How do you join objects? You don't. Not really. The way that you need to remesh. Once you've gotten your stuff done, you need to remesh and join. But you shouldn't be sculpting at really high resolutions if you're planning on joining things later. If you're trying to join a whole bunch of objects together later, you really should be using multi-res later on in the process. Yeah, not a bodybuilder. I thought you had multi-res on. No, that was on the head. This part, but I re-topologized the head so that it could be low poly. I only use that sculpt to know what the head's going to look like, and so that when I'm re-topologizing, it has something to stick to. So I have a shrink wrap modifier on that multi-res head, but I don't actually use that mesh. It's a cage. Not a cage so much as it is a, well, I guess kinda similar. You can call it a cage. But it's like, it's the workflow that people use whenever they're making game-ready models. If they want to sculpt it first, in which a lot of cases they will sculpt the model at a very high poly or as high as they need, and then they'll re-topologize it afterwards so that it's, able to be animated. But yeah, that object will never be used again. Like it's served its purpose and will now just be there as a reminder of how far I've come. Yeah, that would suck to lose. Yeah, your best bet. I honestly don't think you can join two objects together that have multi-res, even if they have the same resolution. Like if you subdivided each of them 3 times, or like the same number of times, I still don't think it would work, just because of the way multi-res works. But if you apply the multi-res modifier, then join them all, it'll work. You just have to apply them first, which, you're going to end up with big old bunch of polygons. Hang on, my wife's calling me. All right, plumber fixed our sink. Fantastic. No more clogged up sinks. Did everything I knew how to do on that goddamn sink. Could not get it to work. There we go. Muscular, but not too wide. All right, so that concludes our work for the body. We need to add the wings next. Like I said, because the way that his wings are designed with their own set of lats, we might have to we might have to attach them. Like, we're not going to be able to just shove a pair of wings in here. We're going to have to attach them. Have to be a little more strategic. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just model them first, because I really do need a new set of wings modeled and ready to go. Because if there's one mistake that I've made in the past, is not really caring about the actual topology of the webbing of the wings. So one problem that my wings tend to have is, like, it's just a straight up grid. I just fill it out however I can between the fingers. But that's really not the most ideal way to do this, because you need to really take into account how the wings are going to look whenever they're folded, so that they can deform and look nice even when they're folded in. And that's just not something I took into account before. I did whenever I made Young Pup's wings. I actually did give a shit and, like, try my best. Of course, his are feathered wings, so it's a little, I didn't have to worry about webbing, but where is it? I don't know why his model always takes a long time to load. So like right here, old lore would have just made a really long, just a really long tube and then shaped it to look like a wing. But what I did here is I carefully added this loop here, or this incision here that makes it so that whenever this wing folds, it stretches where it needs to stretch and then compresses where it needs to compress. I did not do that on my wings, because my wings are a little out of date. Let me see if I can find a set of wings that are older. I mean, hell, just, yeah, Lord Dragon 5.0 will work. Okay, so, oh well, damn it, his is, you'll never be able to see it because it's fucking, decimated, because I needed it to be, VRChat compatible, so never mind, you'll never get to see what the topology looks like. Okay, let's try a different one. What's another good example? Or a bad example from an older model. Oh, perfect, this one. Okay, so this is a model that I was very proud of. I made this a long time ago. So his wings, we'll just go into solid mode. They don't fold super well because it's just a straight up grid. And his arms are, like I said, just a tube, just a cylinder that bends like this all the way up to his hand. So whenever the cylinder bends, it starts to fold into itself and you see the normals begin to go crazy. This looks fine right here, but only because this is about as much as I was able to fold them before they started to fall apart. So I was always very limited by how much I could fold my wings. Like right here is a perfect example. Right here, you see how like, no matter how I would weight paint this, like your first instinct might be, well, if you just weight paint it better, it won't do that. Well, that's the problem, is that even no matter how many times and how many different variations that I weight paint this, it will not matter. Because if I try to fold it, the normals are always going to break and fold over themselves. Because if I was smarter, or like, I guess more experienced, not smarter, but just more experienced, the way that I would have done this is more like this. I'll just use an annotation tool. Right here, I would have it to where the topology is heavier where it needs to stretch, which is right here. Wait, what? Oh. There we go. That's right, weight painting can only do so much without the proper topology. No, yeah, you're right. I mean, if I wanted to, I could try to find another person's model and learn from it, which I might actually do before next stream. I just try to solve problems on my own first, and then if I just can't, then I look for somebody else's model on Sketchfab or something and learn from it. But the way that I would do it now is I would make it to where there's smaller amount of topology here at the top, say something like this, and then just like there's a lot more topology towards the bottom. And that way, whenever it folds, it'll be able to fold a little bit better. It looks like I almost did that here. I almost figured it out just naturally, but I should have done that almost about this much, where it's like tons of topology here, very little bit right here. So I will probably find like a game ready dragon model somewhere and see what they do for their wings. Just to, if I can't quite figure it out on my own. Because his wings are monstrous. They are fucking huge. These are really, really big for the model. If these can't fold, if these wings cannot fold really well, they'll cover up his entire screen no matter what. Because like if you think about it, these wings right now are folded. They're already a little bit folded. You can see his fingers are bent. If he were to outstretch his wings as far as they go, they'd take up probably about like this much of the reference. But you know, it's cool, but yeah, don't want that to act. It's cool in design, but whenever you're streaming, you can't have your wings just all up in the fucking way, like mine. Like if I were to just let my wings just out, just always in the way. His wings would be like this, but like. Can you guys see the screen? Can you see it? Can you see what I'm doing? No. But I think that's about as much work as I'm going to do for today. I need to go make some dinner. But I think we got a pretty good amount done. You know, got the head done, got the body ready to go, got the head attached. I guess I can like real quick throw in some horns and put his eyes back. So that way he can look a little more done than he already is. The chart, no problem. Let me throw in his horns really fast. This will take like a second. Horns are not particularly complex. Pause. Oh shit, you're right. I forgot to split his paws so that he'd have 4 toes. That's okay. We'll do that next time. We'll do that next time. So much was here earlier. There we go. Now he can look a little more done for whenever I take a screenshot for Twitter. Sometime. Of course, I should probably add his teeth and stuff before I take any screenshots. Nah, fuck it. Alright. Alright, everybody. I'm going to send you all on a raid. Let's see. Who are we going to hate raid today? $7.5K. Yeah. 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 Get that 7.5K. Make that fucking Mario 64 model. All right. Don't have any of my 3D modeler friends streaming right now, but I will send you to a... Well, he is a 3D modeler. He's just not 3D modeling right now. He's got a really cool model, just a really neat little design. So I'm gonna send y'all his way, and his name is Wireframe. Y'all send him as much love and support as you guys have shown me today, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for a Bramble horror stream. If you guys have never heard of the game Bramble, it's a very short horror game, about 4 hours long, so we'll be able to finish the whole thing beginning to end in about one stream. And I will see y'all again for that. It's my favorite horror favorite horror video game. Let's see. All right, everybody. Peace out.